Yeah.
I've been such a huge fan since I was in high school and saw the movie, and Richard Gere was so amazing, and I can't believe I get to do that every single night on Broadway.
Now, Todrick, I can't relate to the Broadway aspect of it, but I did do the Florence Little Theater production of Your Good Man Charlie Brown.
Yes.
I only had to do a week's worth of shows.
Mhm.
I was bored out of my mind doing the same thing every night.
It's
every
Groundhog
night.
Day,
And you
yeah.
doing? How long is your run?
Well, this run is only 7 weeks, but I
But
did
still.
Memphis for 6 months. I did The Color Purple for a year.
How do you do the same thing every night and not drive yourself crazy? Do you ever just go on autopilot, or do you have to keep it fresh?
Sometimes you do, but the thing is, I think that the cool part for me is that I'm working with people who've been on Broadway, some of them for 21 years, and to be able to like look at their eyes and see how invested they are every day, it becomes a really cool challenge for me as an actor to try to be invested in the scene. And also, when I was doing Kinky Boots, that story resonated so strongly with my real life. It felt like I remember being such an outcast and having to move from school to school because my dad was a basketball coach, and every day I'd walk into the cafeteria being like, how am I going to explain to this new group of guys that I don't want to play basketball, that I actually want to take ballet and I'd rather sit with the girls? I don't know how I'm going to figure this out. But it reminded me of that weird, awkward feeling every day. There's a part in Kinky Boots where he walks into the factory and he's this person who's a drag queen who's now dressing up as a man for the first time in public and having to figure out this new interaction with these people. And every day, no matter how many times, even if it was a matinee after a 4-show weekend, I would always remember what it felt like. So it feels, if you're acting and really in the moment, not saying that you weren't in your production of Your Good Man Charlie Brown,
Right.
but it should feel real and authentic every single time.
Now, if you ever forget a line, how do you go about? Because I'm sure it happens. You do so many shows. Does it happen?
It does happen. Sometimes you're like, I'm thinking about a That's So Raven rerun, and then I'm on stage, and all of a sudden I'm like, and it's the craziest feeling. It always feels like a huge, loud, noise went off, and your heart stops, and you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? It's like that moment in The Lion King where Simba realizes that the stampede is coming, and the background goes like that. I don't know. You got to look at that image, and then you'll know exactly how I feel. It feels like, even though it's only like 3 seconds that it takes you to figure out where you are, it feels like you waited 4 hours and that the audience is like laughing and pointing at you.
And nobody knows.
No one knows.
Honestly, your co-stars would save you. And, you know, like, oh, you know.
Do you ever, after, like Kelly said, after doing a show, say the 3rd month in a 6-month run, do you say, man, we killed it? Now, it was the same show you did, the previous 3 months. Do you ever say, like, man, we killed it today?
Yeah, no, there's sometimes that the audience is just electric. Like, sometimes you'll go in on a Saturday matinee at 2 o'clock and you're like, I'm exhausted. Friday night was too lit.
Right.
And then you get to work the next day and you're doing the show, and then all of a sudden the audience is just laughing at every joke. Every joke is landing, and the energy is just crazy infectious, and they're on their feet before the bows even begin. And that's really, really cool. And that's what you want to work for every night, to get the audience on their feet. And there's just something about performing for a live audience every night and telling a story and forming a character and having the audience fall in love with that character every night that, I don't know, it's just, if you have the theater bug, you can't deny that feeling.
Yeah.
And you're one of my favorite stories in show business right now, because when kids ask me, hey, man, I'm really interested in getting to showbiz, I send them your way.
Well, thank you.
Because everybody thinks it's going to be overnight and it's going to be really easy and you're going to find one person, get an audition, and boom, you're going to be a superstar. But I tell them, no. Look at Todrick Hall, because you went on American Idol. That didn't work out.
Yeah.
You got out of American Idol. You started making videos. You started getting noticed, and you worked your butt off every single day until
Every day.
Like, you made it now, and you still work your butt off.
Absolutely, and I'm never gonna stop, because the thing is like, I just watched so many people. Being so close to Taylor and getting to watch how hard she works and how passionate she is about every song that she writes, it's just so inspiring to me, and I have so much further to go. And when I'm hanging out with someone like Taylor and seeing how hard she's working at the level that she's at, I'm like, well, there's no way I can stop right now.
Right.
And
Yet you found the time somehow to also film a documentary.
Yes.
Right?
Which we can get
just
now.
Premiered last night.
Yes, which was so cool to come back to Texas and get to come out to a sea of people that are screaming and so excited from your hometown. Like, my elementary school teacher who introduced me to theater was there, and my mom was there, and she's a huge part of the show. And it's really, really cool. cool. The documentary is called Behind the Curtain. It's on iTunes now, and it follows the creation of my album, to me bringing that to life in a visual album, to then me taking that on tour and getting to meet my fans. And it's just really, really cool. It's the first time I feel like people get to see like a raw, authentic version of me, like unedited. There are some parts that I'm embarrassed, the
But you
things
left them
that I
in?
say. What was that?
You
Yeah,
left
I
them in
left them in because I was like, it's important for people to see me like who I truly am.
Yeah.
I don't
What
think
about yourself makes you cringe?
just some of the things that I say, because I was raised in, the Bible Belt of Texas, so sometimes I say words that are not approved by heaven, and that makes me so sad, especially because there were so many little girls, like 7, 8-year-olds at the show last night, and I was like, plug your ears for this part. But I think the cool thing is that the message is such a message of inclusion and love and empowerment, and that you can do anything you want to do, and it's like completely sprinkled throughout the entire documentary from beginning to end. So the overall message from every person that was there last night, even the parents of people who were, in my eyes, toddlers, were like, this is such a great message and such a good inspirational documentary for my kids to see.
Your videos that you do on YouTube, the Fours?
Yeah.
Fours?
Uh-huh.
How long does it take you to shoot one of those? Because it's one song, but you have 4 Todricks. I don't know where you put the other 3 guys. Are they at home right now? I don't know.
4 pieces and put them together.
And you put them together, and it's so well choreographed, and you're always on point with your moves. How
Thank
long does
you.
it take you to do that?
It takes quite a while, but the thing is, I'm so grateful that you asked that question, because people watch that video and they don't realize how difficult it is to do that, to relearn something. And you do it 4 times all the way through. So if the number is 4.5 minutes long, you have to make it from beginning to end with no mistakes, and then learn the other part, do the other part. It takes, for me, like now I've got it down to like 6 or 7 hours, but it's like a full work day to sit there, learn those parts and record them so that they go together. And you're always still nervous until you see them edited together that something's not going to work out.
So cool. It's fun to watch.
It is real.
Thank you.
Do you ever have sit-ins practice with you so you could like...
Yeah, I have 3 of my friends are always with me, and I
Okay.
teach them the parts, and they say, now you told me to sing this part. So they regurgitate the information to me.
Okay.
And that way because I can look at it from an audience perspective,
So cool.
watch it, and then learn it, and cross my fingers and hope for the best.
Check out those videos. They're so cool.
Fun.
Like,
Really cool.
he'll push the frame aside, and then he'll take the solo. It's so well done. Everything you do is so cool.
Thank you.
You're congratulations, by the way, on
Thank you
finally
so much.
hitting that M.
Oh my gosh. It seemed like it was never going to happen.
On
Thank
Instagram.
you.
Mama, we made it.
Oh my gosh. When I was counting down, like I felt like it was like I was a little kid counting down to Christmas when I got to 1 million, because there are endorsement deals, not to make this about business, but there are endorsement deals that you as a social media influencer can't get because you don't have 1 million followers.
Once you tip it, man.
Yeah.
And so I'm in a whole new world.
Yes.
Yes.
What's your favorite song out right now, Todrick? One
My
that you might
favorite song?
remake or make a video about.
Well, okay, I love everything on Taylor's album. My favorite song is Delicate on that album, or In Game. I don't know, that one gets me like really.
Oh, you
Nick likes that dress song.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dress.
Dress.
No, he's right
You
here.
naughty, naughty boy, Nick.
Nick, I'm yelling at you over there.
He is a Taylorologist.
But
He
I
left the show. He left work to go buy her albums when they became available.
oh my gosh, a hard copy.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Magazine.
A classic man right there. I'm in that magazine. Oh
Yeah,
my
yo, I'm
gosh.
sorry.
I love this song. And it was so cool that I remember like sitting in her kitchen, like listening to all these songs over and over and over again, and like trying not to sing them in front of anybody because I was like so excited for everybody to finally hear them, and to watch people fall in love with the songs and figure out which ones are their favorites it's been really cool.
You should have been here for our reaction when we first played Look What You Made Me Do on the radio. We were like,
So different.
Yeah.
when she said she was dead, we were like, oh my God, we were horrified.
That's
Now
so funny.
now, we're used to hearing it, but at first we were like, Taylor's so angry. She's, what's going on? But in real life, is she really that angry?
No. I
Yeah.
think she's the happiest I've ever seen her.
Yeah, she said this has been the best year of her life.
I love it. Yeah, there was a time last year, I don't know if I'm supposed to say anything, but she was dating someone who I never actually met this person, but I could just tell every time I would talk to her, she would hunch over, and I sent her this picture of her as Quasimodo that I edited, because I was like, you cannot turn into Quasimodo for this guy. Every time you say his name, you hunch over.
Wow.
And now she's so happy, standing up completely straight and so tall and so confident. And I just love it. I'm like so happy for her, and I cannot wait to see this tour.
What
I know she's happy
happens
for
in a
you, too.
conversation? I think I always wonder with celebrities, especially at her level, with all the hate and all the criticism that she gets. I mean, that still gets to people, right?
Well, it's really shocking because there are some people I hang out with who, when I'm with an Ariana Grande or someone or a Beyonce, obviously, I don't think that she cares or even knows that people are commenting on her pictures,
Yeah.
or if she in fact knows that she has an Instagram, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But Taylor, yeah, she's very sensitive, and I think that we were talking about this the other day, and I was like, it blows my mind that you're so humble and so sensitive, because we were hanging out at her house, and Tiffany Haddish was there, and she was saying something about some comment a kid said, and you could tell that it made Taylor's entire energy shift, because she just loves people so much, and she wants everybody to understand where she's coming from. But I think it's that passion and that humble quality about her that makes her so great at writing songs that people identify with, because she wears her heart on her sleeve, and when things happen, it really gets to her.
How does she get over it? Do you talk about ways that you guys get over that kind of thing?
I try just not to talk to her about it, because it really affects her really
Yeah.
negatively. She doesn't.
She's
She
human.
can hear 8 million great comments. If she sees one person not happy, it's really crazy. And every time I bring anyone around her to her house or anything, she's always she can't even have a good time, because she's making sure that everybody has water. Do you need anything? If I fall asleep, she's the first person to go get a blanket and put it over me and be like, buddy, are you okay? She's like, I'm like, you're going to be the best mom in the entire world, because she's just so thoughtful. And it's so also so crazy that when I'm around other celebrities, oftentimes it becomes a conversation about them, and almost hardly ever is it a conversation, even at an event for Taylor, does it ever become about her. She's always like, how's Broadway going? How's your new album going? How's your relationship?
You're like,
with you.
You're like, I got $1 million.
Yeah, I know.
Did Millie, Bobby Brown, did she give you the idea for your celebration video?
Yes, yeah. And she texted me afterwards and was like, your video is so cute. Thanks for elevating my video to another level. But I gave her a little shout out in there, because I didn't want her to completely think I just jacked her idea. But I love her too. I'm so excited for her.
Todrick, you're living the life, man.
Yeah.
Thank
Todrick
you.
Hall. Make sure you pick up Behind the Curtain. Todrick Hall is available right now on iTunes, or you can pick up the DVD if you want to stick it into the DVD player.
Him.
Follow him.
Get to 2 million.
You got that
Yes,
mail,
I'm
bro.
coming back here, by the way, to tour in April or May. It's May. And so my tickets are on sale tomorrow at todrickhall.com, so come see the next tour.
And friends in New York, go check him out on Broadway. He's doing Chicago in New York
Yeah.
on Broadway.
Yes.
All right?
Very
Are you
complicated.
confused? Good.
Yeah.
That's what we want. Todrick, man, it's so good to see you. I'm glad you're doing well still, man.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
From our little performance in the man room a few years ago to you.
Look how far we've come, and we're not stopping yet. I will be
we're
back
still
here
here.
every time I can.
We're still here.
Look how far we've come. We're still in the same place.
That's
You
nice
have
of you.
other stuff to do.
But we love you, man. And anytime, you're welcome to come in here, dude.
Thank you very much.
What's the Instagram, Todrick?
Todrick.
Todrick.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's the cool part about having a crazy name, Todrick.
Nobody else has it. Go check them out. And coming up next, Todrick, you may want to stick around and forget your flight to New York, because it's time for our breaking and entering. We're going to give a family Christmas.
Oh my gosh.
I know, Todrick.
The anticipation is killing me.
More Kelly Al